Welcome to the Real News. I'm Eddie Conway. On Monday, Reverend William Barber and Reverend Liz Theoharis, the leaders of the Poor People's Campaign, were arrested on Capitol Hill. They were set to speak at a forum on inequality and poverty in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. In Annapolis, for the fifth consecutive week, the Poor People's Campaign has been holding a rally.
We've been here for 5 weeks. This is our fifth week, isn't it? Yeah. We got one more week, and we haven't heard a word from the governor.
And rallies have been held all over the nation in 37 other states. In addition, a rally was held in downtown Baltimore, organized by the Fight for 15 and the Poor People's Campaign.
It's time to take back power for working people. The theme for this week again is everybody's got a right to live, because your financial situation should not determine if you have housing or health care or food and if you can take care of your family, right? Y'all know we live in one of the wealthiest states in this country. And it is a damn shame that people who work 40 hours a week are still living in poverty, right? Exactly. So we got to do something about that. This is a joint event between the Poor People's Campaign and the Fight for 15 campaign. Woo, for the Poor People's Campaign. So the Poor People's Campaign has been participating in 40 days of action in 35 states and in D.C. to change the narrative of blaming poor people just for being poor. Hey, who's that? Who's that guy right there? Who is that guy right there?
So I'm not giving these workers fair pay. They don't deserve fair pay. They don't deserve a $15 an hour minimum wage. If they get a full $15 an hour minimum wage, I don't get to keep this. I make my money off the backs of these hard workers. If I pay them a fair wage and give them good benefits, that means I don't get to keep this.
When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do?
We have the power!
I'm a part of the Baltimore Algebra project, and we were invited down here by the Poor People's Campaign to kind of bring in that educational aspect to it, especially because we're a youth-run organization.
In higher education and higher levels, such as the state level, too many decisions are made without youth, right?
Right.
Where are the youth?
Yes.
Seriously, I mean, we have to hold ourselves accountable.
Yes.
Where are the youth?
Yes.
We need to be in the forefront of this movement. Our voices need to be heard, especially when we're talking about educational equity.
We do have programs like Youth Works in Baltimore City, but when it comes to living wages, those don't pay enough, especially when we have students that are providing for their families, when they don't have parents in the household that have adequate employment opportunities. And, you know, summer isn't just the only time people need money, right? Like, we need to make sure that this is a sustainable movement. So that's why we are here today, to make sure that aspect is heard.
Now, how worthy is this math class if it's not teaching me how to pay my bills before I'm off on the streets enjoying those junky thrills? How worthy is this English class if there's no class discussion, not teaching me that if I disagree, there's a need for a social disruption? Now, how worthy is this chemistry class if I can't use what I know about bonds to bring people together? How worthy is this government class if what I'm learning can't help me change the minimum wage? I'm not 20 years of age, but I have 20-year-old responsibilities. Now, this wage I'm given will keep me in this low-class cage. Just know that this school situation brings me more than just rage.
23.4 million of Black people, 60% are poor and low income. Did you know that 37.6 million of Latinx people, 65% are poor and low income? Did you know that 7.8 million of Asian people, 41%, are poor and low income? Did you know that 66.2 million white people, 34%, are poor and low income? 250,000 people in the U.S. die each year because of poverty and low income.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Well, we're here because we've been supporters of the Fight for 15, and because we're trying to support the woodwork, trying to continue to push for a raising minimum wage. And I'm also here collecting signatures for an initiative called Better Budget Baltimore that we're working on, which is to change the charter so the city council has more equal budgetary powers with the mayor. Currently, the mayor sets the budget. All the council can do is cut the budget. They can't move money around. They can't add money. They can't reset priorities. And so we want a more democratic process for the budget. We think this is a start.
Okay, so you can do that by petition here in Baltimore?
We have to get 10,000 signatures verified as registered voters in the city of Baltimore, and we can get it put on the ballot for the fall elections.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, and so how are you doing so far?
Well, we're only a couple weeks in, so we're probably only 1,000 or two on our way towards our goal. We, of course, have to get a lot more than 10,000 to make sure we have 10,000 verified.
Okay.
So, but we'll make it. We have till like the middle of August.
Good afternoon. Y'all too quiet for me. Y'all real quiet. What do we want? 15! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? 15! When do we want it? Now! There we go. I couldn't hear y'all when I was coming down the street. Okay.
We're fed up and we are tired of having to make decisions about whether these kids are going to eat a meal or if I got to pay a bill, just like I said. And it's a shame that we're working, and we work hard. Mm-hmm. And I work myself in a healthcare facility, mm-hmm. and I still can't make ends meet. And I'm not alone, and we're going to let people in Annapolis know, and we're going to hold our delegates and all our candidates accountable.
Okay. So that means in the November election? Is that what
the primary election? We're going to do early voting. We're going to Annapolis every time we get a chance. Every time we get a chance, and we're going to keep on being spoken. We're going to keep on speaking out until something is done. And then that's the beginning. And then we're going to 20.